Yasu, it's John Alwyn Jones reporting for Travel Mole TV from the port of Katakolon in Greece. And just a bit of history here. Katakolon's a small port founded in the first half of the 19th century and linked to the legendary and nearby Olympia, where we're going to go in a minute. According to the annals, which describe in detail and with some legend the birth and history of Olympia, the city is a pastoral site chosen by the king of gods Zeus to promote his culture amongst the Greeks. And we'll hear all about that when we get to Olympia. At the moment, we're on board the Costa Fortuna with Costa Cruise Lines, and behind me you can see the splendour of the seas with Royal Caribbean and the insignia from Oceania. So obviously a hub for the cruising industry and also for people to discover the history and the culture and so on of this ancient part of the Greek Empire and the Roman Empire as well. So we're going to go off to Olympia now and discover all that history. And I've got to tell you, this early in the morning, it's a pretty hot day. So as they say here in Greece, Efaristo, and off we go to Olympia. Well, Travel Mole on location in Greece now. We've moved from Italy, from the ancient city of Bari, to an even more ancient location now. And we arrived this morning in how do you say the port?
Katakolon.
Katakolon, okay.
The city and the harbour of Katakolon.
And now we're with, now say your name.
My name is Sotiris.
Sotiris. How do you spell that?
Sotiris.
Sotiris.
S-O-T-I-R-E-S.
Sotiris. And Sotiris is a guide here in this area. And we've come, how many kilometres have we come from the port?
From the port, 38 kilometres.
So 38 kilometres.
Katakolon to Olympia. 38 kilometres.
And we're in the ancient sites of Olympia. So tell me a little bit about this area first of all, then we'll talk about the Olympia site as well. So tell me about this area and what it does, about the agriculture and so on.
Today we have the main activity here is agriculture. It's a very productive valley. In the month of July, for example, they produce a lot of watermelons and melons.
Yeah, nice.
They export them. The strawberries of Olympia, they are very famous all over Greece, and mostly olive oil and wine that it is produced here. Yeah. The local wine is very good, very famous. Mercury wine and the olive oil that has less acidity of all Greece. I mean, not only in this area, especially in the city of Kalamata, southern than here, and the valley of Kalamata is the best olive oil that is produced in Greece. Here in Peloponnese. I mean, the agricultural products, the main activity of the agricultures that they live here is to produce this, but not only these very famous products, but even others. I mean, potatoes, tomatoes. They have farms all over here that they produce fresh milk to give them to the companies to produce to have fresh milk. They have, I mean, they produce a lot. It's based on the agriculture, and they grow up sheep and goats, mostly.
Okay. So the food here locally is good, is it?
Very good. Very good.
Okay. So we should expect to have some good food at lunchtime.
Yes, of course.
I just mentioned before, I mean, tourism is a really important occupation and important part of the economy here. Yes. So how many tourists visit this area every year, do you know?
3 million last year. I mean, 3 million visitors in Olympia. And the archaeological site. At least 3 million per year. Yeah. We have visitors here because the people, they want to see the place where we had the Olympic Games once. I mean, we had the Olympic Games in the ancient period, starting from the 28 centuries ago. They started the Olympic Games.
Hold on, 28 centuries ago.
28 centuries ago, 776 BC. We have the first organization that we know of the Olympic Games, of athletic competitions here in Olympia for the first time. Wow. They stopped them. I mean, they abolished the Olympic Games with the Emperor Theodosius, 393 AD. So, for 1200 years, every 4 years, the ancient Greeks, organized the Olympics here in Olympia, in the main stadium, the big one, the most important one, the original stadium of Olympia that we're about to visit in a while.
Fantastic. Well, look, I think what we'll do now is we'll go and walk through the Olympic site and let's discover some of Greece's ancient history.
Okay.
So, Sotiris, what are we looking at now here?
We are looking at gymnasium.
Wow.
Gymnasium.
Where's the roof?
There is no roof. No. We have only 2 series of columns, broken columns. They were discovered by the archaeologists. They were put there by the archaeologists because everything was down. It's I mean, it's a portic, under of which we had the athletes that practice running under here.
Yeah.
And they were running nudes. That's why it's called gymnasium. It comes out from the word gymnos in Greek language. That means nude.
So why? Tell me something. Why aren't we in the Olympic Games today? Why aren't they running nude now? That'd be quite good, wouldn't it?
Yes, only men in the Asian period.
Okay, no women. Okay.
In the Asian period, no women. So where we had the gymnasium down there. It ends the gymnasium. We have these columns over there that they stay on. I mean, they were put there by the archaeologists. Is the famous palestra, they call it, the wrestling place, where they practice. I mean, jumping, javelin, the throwing of discus. It was practiced there, or wrestling in this location down there after the end of the gymnasium.
Okay, well let's wander down there and let's have a look at where the wrestling took place. It's an amazing sight, isn't it?
Okay, Palestra belongs to the third century BC. Always, it's a portic, as we can see from the design here, and we can see around. We take a close take a around. Is the square building practically? A square building and. Surrounded by colonnade over here. It's the place where they organize the competitions like the throwing of javelin, the throwing of discus, or the wrestling. Here the ancient athletes around here they practice wrestling, for example.
Yep.
I mean.
So this is before they would go into the main competitions. They would practice here, yeah?
Yeah, only practice.
Okay.
Because the main competition was organized inside the Stadium of Olympia. We're about to visit in a while. We have the temples. Don't forget that this is a sanctuary dedicated to Zeus.
So the god was Zeus. Really?
The god here is Zeus.
Yeah.
To him are dedicated the games. Because Zeus lives on Olympus, that's why the games are Olympics.
Okay.
It's just it took the name indirectly. So this is the temple of Zeus down there.
Yeah.
Over there. This is the temple of Hera over here.
Yeah.
And this is the famous Philippeion right there. Philippeion belongs to the 4th century BC.
Wow.
Where it has the name of Philippus. Philippos.
Yeah.
Philip.
Okay.
Philip II, the father of Alexander the Great, Macedonian.
Macedonian, yeah.
He tried to build this, to finish this building, never finished it because was killed. Philip II by his last wife, Olympiade.
Okay, yeah.
Olympiade was the wife of that killed him.
Why did she kill him?
Because she feared about the throne of her son. Alexander.
Yep.
Alexander took the throne of Macedonia. He became the king of the Macedonians, and then he managed to finish this building over here. The base of this building is made of marble. Beautiful. You can see that. Yeah. The marble was imported from Athens because the Athenians, they want to have good relationships with the Macedonians of this period.
Yeah.
That's why it was imported, was donated by the Asian Athenians to the Macedonians. In order to build this circular building, they wanted to put inside the 5 statues of the Macedonian royal family. The statues were destroyed. Even this. Now the archaeologists they rebuild the base of the marble there, and then because they don't have the original material of the columns, they create. It's an artificial material. They use sand from the beach and cement.
Okay.
In order to rebuild.
So when would they have been rebuilt then?
They built them. Was rebuilt was built now. I mean, lately, 3 years ago they started.
Excellent.
To rebuild the circular building of Philippeion.
Tell me about the bricks over there, though, because I think that puts the whole site in perspective.
Bricks over there were imported by the Romans. It means that they.
So they're recent then.
Yeah, more recent than the other things, because we have various phases here of constructions.
Yeah.
We have a lot of phases. I mean, in the past. traces. So, from the other part, we have the Temple of Hera over there. Hera is the wife of Zeus. Is ancient, more ancient than the same Temple of Zeus. Belongs to the 7th century BC. The archaic capitals of the columns demonstrate that belongs to the 7th century BC.
Yep.
Is the first building. First they build the Temple of Hera and then they build the Temple of Zeus.
Yep.
After 2 centuries they have built it. They have started building from the 11th century BC. This temple here. Originally the columns, they were made of wood. Now they have made, and I mean, in the centuries they replace slowly the columns with these ones.
So how many people would there have been on this site, you know, at its peak?
At its peak, 1,000 priests.
Wow.
The personnel of Olympia, 1,000 people.
Well, let's go off to see Zeus, the Temple of Zeus.
It's not a city.
It's a sanctuary.
It's a sanctuary.
Okay.
So we have the statue of Zeus inside this temple, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, 14 meters high.
Wow.
This beautiful statue.
What was it made of?
Made of ivory and gold. Ivory and gold. By Phidias. Phidias was a genius in the 5th century BC. He worked here. He worked in the Parthenon first, and then he arrived here and worked Parthenon of Athens, and worked here in Olympia even.
So this is the temple. We're going to walk up into the temple now. Well, let's walk up. Yeah. Let's imagine we're Zeus, or you know, somebody coming to talk to him. I mean, anything's possible. But wow. Now you're telling me about the column on the right-hand side. That was to help give some scale, you said. So why was that?
They reproduced one column of the temple, made of new material mostly, but even they used even the ancient material in order to rebuild the column to show us how high was the temple. Because until today we had how wide was the temple, how long was the temple. With the construction of the column we have how high was the temple. It was an enormous, almost it's almost 12 meters this one. High the column, and show us how big was the biggest of Peloponnese, 456 BC. 456 BC, 5th century BC.
So what would have happened in here?
It's a beautiful temple that had inside one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the statue of Zeus, made of ivory and gold.
And that would have been at the end of the temple?
The central room, in the central room. They enter from here, this is the entrance. Above the main entrance, Phidias opened a circular window in order to illuminate the statue, because we don't have any windows in the temple. So it was a huge dark room.
Very cool.
You enter inside, in 14 meters high, you see illuminated the face of Zeus, the head of Zeus. The beard and the hair of Zeus were made of gold. That's why it was something impressive to see. So, in order to illuminate the statue, Phidias opened a circular window above the main entrance. This is the main entrance of the stadium of Olympia, where they organize the Olympics every 4 years in the ancient period. This is a tunnel. I mean, the arc continues until the other end over there. It's a tunnel that they cross the athletes and they face the crowd.
Okay, should we run into the stadium?
Tunnel, yes, and you face the crowd to the stadium. So we are inside the stadium. After the tunnel, we go inside and we see the stadium, the original one. Belongs to the 5th century BC, the stadium. Only the Olympic Committee, I mean the judges, they have seats. The others, all the spectators, they sit on the ground, or they stand on their foot, on their feet, right here.
So how many people would there have been in the stadium at any one time?
The German Archaeological School estimate even 60,000 people. Even 60,000 people, they could stand inside this enormous stadium, big one, original, ancient one. This is the starting line over there, in front of us. Until the other starting line down there, it's 192 meters. The length of one Greek ancient stadium, 600 feet of Hercules. They imagine the Greeks. Then they arrive the Romans, and they make it shorter, 176 meters. The Romans. And then the metals that we give today, it's a Roman invention. It's not a Greek invention. So, a Roman invention, the Romans. So, this is the starting line, and near the seats of the judges, they have discovered, the archaeologists, they have discovered a weight. It is the first weight lifter that we know in the history. Oh, wow. 6th century BC.
Yeah.
We know that because on this weight, on this stone that weighs 127 kilograms, that now stands in the museum of the Olympic Games, of the Asian Olympic Games, the organizer, the Olympic Committee, has written on the surface what he did. This person, the weightlifter, he lifts the stone with both hands. And then hold it with one.
Oh, wow.
And then throw it away.
Yeah?
127 kilograms, this stone. It's irregular. It's not so easy to grab it.
So that's in the museum?
Is in the museum. The frontons of the Temple of Zeus. These are the decorations. This was the decoration that was at the entrance. And this was the decoration that was existing in the exit from the other side. The two triangles above the main entrance and the exit of the temple. They are made of marble, all of it. They are original and they are masterpieces. They were saved because they were hidden under the mud of the floods that flooded the river that brought mud and earth and covered the ancient city of Olympia. Were discovered by the German Archaeological School in 1876. So, the central figure over there is Zeus and says the story of Pelops. Pelops is the local hero of Peloponnese that managed to marry Hippodamia, one of the two ladies that they are here, they are there, managed to marry Hippodamia and become the king of the place and gave the name to the whole region.